So today we're doing a little student leadership panel of some of our current student leaders, those that have been serving in leadership for quite a while, those that are also in athletics and serving in leadership. So we kind of wanted to kick things off. If you guys can go around and tell me a little bit about yourself, your name, your major, and a fun fact about you, we'll kick it off.
Hello, my name is Carissa. I am a senior and a graphic design major. My student leadership position, I'm the Campus Life Activities Board student director. And then a fun fact about me is I'm scared of butterflies.
Wow. That was a good one. I'm Raina. I'm a junior. And I'm a kinesiology major. My leadership position, I'm an RA. This year I'm over in the block. Last year I was in the village. And a fun fact about me, my stunt team are back-to-back national champions.
I'm Tabitha. I'm a liberal studies major. I'm a junior. I'm a global outreach intern. And a fun fact about me is I have over 30 plants.
Half of those are in our apartment.
Yes, they are.
Hey guys, I'm Nate. I'm a sophomore here at Jessup. I'm also the vice president of student government. That's our fearless leader, the president, Laura. I'm a business major. Fun fact about me is I can juggle. Yeah.
Hi, my name's Javin. Thank you, Alfredo. I am a junior. I am a psychology major with a public policy minor. And a fun fact about me is that I did my first Spartan race over the winter break, and I'm gonna go for like the trifecta this year.
Okay. You want me to introduce myself as well? Yeah? Okay. So my name is Zoe Swan. I am the Women's Discipleship Intern here with Campus Ministries. I am a senior this year, and a fun fact about me is I'm actually double jointed in all my fingers and toes.
She would share that. And for those of you that don't know me, hopefully you do know me because I've been on the stage for quite a bit. I'm Ashley. I am a senior this year. I am a business major, and my leadership role is the morning chapel coordinator. And a fun fact about me is, I'm going to share this one. A fun fact about me is I'm famous on the news in Texas. Lord. So those of you that know that story can attest to that. Okay, moving on to our first question, because that's a beautiful transition. Why did you want to get involved in student leadership?
I can go. So I got involved in student leadership because I wanted to be like more integrated into like the Jessup community. As a commuter, I was, not too involved because I didn't live here, and you can only go to so many events. So getting involved in student leadership allowed me to be just here on campus more, running events and stuff. So I was just more involved in the campus as a whole.
My freshman year, I came to Jessup not knowing anybody, and so I kind of had to open up. But I realized that, being a student athlete, you're kind of in this bubble, and so I wanted to, expand my friend group. So, joining student leadership was just such a great way to do that and get to know so many more people and make so many more close friends.
I got involved in student leadership because I was a transfer student, and I transferred in during a spring semester actually, and it was pretty hard to get connected at first, and so I just realized that I needed to just kind of take the plunge and put myself out there, and so I decided to sign up for student leadership, and it's honestly been one of the best decisions. I've made so many friends because of it and just built such a great community.
I think for me, it was just to piggyback off of everyone else. It's there's no better way to get connected than joining student leadership. And I think there's also an element of making impact. I think every single team up here has a significant impact on everyday people's lives. And it's really cool to see everyone help out and create such a wonderful community that we see today at Jessup.
I love that. Okay. What is one skill that you've learned in your leadership position, either in past leadership or current leadership, and how can you utilize that skill in your future career?
I feel like in my position, I've learned a lot about like how to communicate well with others, not even just like learning how to write an email well, but also like seeing how different people communicate and like how I need to tell them things and adapt what I say. And I think that's super useful in like pretty much any career that you go into. But yeah, that's been super cool to learn.
It's awesome.
I'd say a lot of public speaking. I mean, being up here right now, and then for global outreach training, standing in front of everyone who's on a team, having to share my testimony or teach them how to share a testimony. It's definitely a lot of public speaking. And I want to be a teacher, so I'm going to have to do that for the rest of my life.
I might throw into the ring time management. That is something very important, and if you're a freshman, learn it fast, all right? All right, it's very important. Google Calendar is your friend, and especially with leadership too, just to be the most efficient possible, it's really helpful to plan everything out.
Yeah, for me it would be there's some marketing skills that we learned. So like on the social media team, we've created flyers and graphics and some other like ads, and you're always going to have to market yourself or market a product, no matter like what you're doing in a future career. Marketing is a very good skill to learn, and I've learned that on the team.
That's amazing. I love that. Okay. How have you overcome a challenge that you have faced while being in leadership? Be careful what you say because your supervisors might be here. Just fair warning. No pressure, but just saying.
Okay, I think one of the main things that I've learned is like learning how to be adaptable. Stuff changes a lot, especially like last minute, like huge things have happened over like events that we've done. And you're just like freaking out for a second, but then you're like, okay, wait, we still have to put this on, everything still has to happen. So just kind of like leaning into that and being like, okay, stuff has to change, like we need to be flexible and just do what we can.
My answer is actually Nate's last answer, but one thing I've overcome is like time management issues. When you have 18 units and then like 2 positions in student leadership, there's a lot of stuff to time manage. So overcoming the hurdle of organizing everything that you need to do in one concise way that doesn't make you feel like too overwhelmed is a challenge to overcome when you're a busy college student.
And I think also Carissa spoke a lot of truth to that, where being adaptable is really important and probably one of the number one things that you'll learn and you'll grow with. I'll use the example of last night even. Last night we hosted a transfer night. I don't know if any of you guys came. It was awesome for all the transfer students. And we were trying to set up in the third floor Sunset Study Hall, and the TV wasn't working. And Laura made the call, hey, let's just go down to second floor. So we had to adapt to that as the issue arose. So that's just a specific example I wanted to give.
Yeah, that's good. I was going to say something, but I don't remember what it was. Yeah, I don't remember.
I can go.
Okay.
I think the biggest thing for me is honestly taking initiative and like being independent. Like being on a leadership team, like they're saying, sometimes it can be crazy. Like putting together these big events, it takes a lot of work and it's a lot of hands on deck. And so you kind of just have to be independent, and you can't just sit around and wait for people to tell you what to do. You actually have to take initiative and jump into that and complete those tasks. So, yeah.
Yeah, that's good. You reminded me what I was going to say. I think for me, mine is change, being okay with change. I hate when things change, so much so that I had something change this morning. PJ called me and he was like, hey, can you get over here in the next 10 minutes? And I was like, yeah, I'll be there. I don't like when things change. I don't like when things mess up my plans. I'm very much of a perfectionist, so when things get thrown into that. But student leadership has allowed me to be okay with change, and so anyways, whatever. Moving on. In your leadership experience, how has your relationship with Jesus grown?
Well, in global outreach, I get to hear about all the different ministries that we're working with, and I get to see like how God is bringing the people together on the teams, and how God is helping provide for us financially, and just really seeing how He's moving. Like my team was supposed to go to a completely different country, and now we're connected with another team and going to another country, and just like seeing how like God is moving through that, and kind of like with that adaptability aspect, like seeing how God uses those changes and does it for His greater good.
For me, I definitely come from a different background. When I came to Jessup, I was raised Catholic. So that's been kind of a journey of learning new things in new lights and just getting to know Jesus. But through student leadership, like I've had amazing mentors, amazing bosses. Just yesterday, I had my one-on-one with PC, and he sat with me for an hour just explaining things with such patience, and just answering all my questions and kind of walking with me through that.
So both my positions, the social media position and the JFAM position, are under campus ministries. And being there, there's always opportunities for prayer. We have a lot of time that we spend just in the Word and talking about all things, anything you need to talk about. And that's a lot of, like just learning more about, what we're called to do, and just getting some specific prayer time, and especially in like meetings and stuff, there's always time for prayer, and having that access. I like having access a lot to leaders, like bosses who have very good spiritual development, and they're able to help me with my own spiritual development.
I love it. Okay, now for a little fun. Do you have any memories from leadership? Funny, embarrassing? You can embarrass yourself, embarrass your team, anything funny. I know some of you do have some. Anyone?
I mean, okay, so my team is always in charge of planning and putting on Mr. Warrior. So I think most of my fun stories come from that. Usually just at like the practices, someone says or does something, and yeah, that it's always a fun time.
It's nothing too crazy, but last year when I worked in the village, we tried to like plan this whole snow day where we were gonna take a bunch of the freshmen to the snow, and we were just gonna have a whole day out there. Everything just seemed to fall apart. So actually, Augie and little Tim went and took a pickup truck and got snow and put it in the back of the pickup truck and brought it back to Jessup and put it on the sun, and everybody was just really confused. Nobody knows what was going on, and there was just a huge pile of snow that was there for like a week until it fully melted away. So that was crazy.
I remember that snow. I was really confused what was going on there. I was like, oh, okay, fun.
I would probably say when SGA hosted the Slip and Slay event, I'm not someone who likes the cold, especially soaking wet. And it's just, it was part of that is like tearing down that, and even, yes, the events are awesome, but like being a part of tearing down the event and like setting it up and growing with those people and just laughing with them as problems come your way is just one of the best experiences you'll ever have. Even for like the orientation, I know right afterwards, we were just, I mean, you're talking for hours after the event, just laughing away, and that's just my favorite part.
I think for me, student leadership retreat is always just the best time ever. We go up to Truckee, and we did stay in a tent this last year.
Well, we had the option to sleep inside
Yes.
or sleep in tent.
But we were crazy and we stayed in a tent
We
because
slept
that's more
outside.
fun. So it's always a blast. We go up to Truckee. It's freezing at night, but it's just fun because you get to hang out with your favorite people and stay up super late together and then wake up really early the next morning. But it's always just a good time. Great memories are always made.
Absolutely. I'll never forget this year, a group of us were trying to build a tent, and it took we were like, how many people does it take to build a 16-person tent? And it was like 12 of us. Like
4 hours later.
4 hours later, literally, we could not figure it out. But I'll never forget Student Leadership Retreat. The past 2 years have been quite an adventure, and I love it because I get to grow closer with other student leaders that you don't really get to see during training, and you get to bond with them and you get to see all the things that they're doing. Okay, a little bit more of a deeper question. What is it like to work with some of the Jessup staff here? Nice words only.
I love Kayla. She's an amazing mentor. She loves her coffee breaks as much as I love my coffee breaks, so that's a good combination. She's very focused and she'll push you, but she has great work-life boundaries, and it has rubbed off on me to have better work-life boundaries. So it's just been incredible.
Yeah, all the people are great. Deb is my boss. She's a great person, a great leader. She always has time for you. I would also say that she's very big about advocating for yourself, and that's something that she's been working with me on, and she'll just watch you grow and help you grow with you in a very mentorship role, and that's something that was really great for me.
I would describe it as a beautiful thing, honestly, the relationship that you end up building with your staff. PC was just explaining to me yesterday, we've had multiple conversations about how we're never leaving each other. Whether I step out of this position, I graduate, we're in this together forever. If I ever need anything, I'm free to call him whenever I want. And even Megan, I don't work directly under her anymore, but I know any second of the day, if I were to call her and I needed something, she'd definitely be there for me. So I'm really grateful for the chance to work under them.
Yeah, I would probably say 2 words really popped into my head when you asked that question, and it was genuine care. These people, just phenomenal leaders with their life experience, truly care about you as a person. And having them as mentors, having them as people who are there when you're dealing with struggles, are there to celebrate when you're having something to celebrate, is just super impactful. And they truly care about you, and that's really cool.
Yeah, I mean, working with all of the staff out of the Student Life office is just truly amazing because they do really care about us, and they're really passionate about the work that they do. And they're always open to meeting with you, talking with you, no matter if your position is under them or not. And then outside of that, I've gotten the chance to work with a bunch of staff across campus. And everyone is just they don't treat you like a kid. I mean, we're not, we're all adults, but they don't make you feel like you're less than them because they are staff or faculty. So yeah, everyone has just been like super awesome and welcoming to work with.
Jerome is my boss, and he is the best. Yeah, give it up for Jerome. He's incredible. If you haven't gotten coffee with him, please do it. I mean, he's always up here telling you that he'll buy you free coffee.
You can also hear his laugh from like a mile away.
Yes, you
so
can. Yes, he has
make
an
him
iconic
laugh.
laugh. Yeah. And so just getting the chance to work under him this year has been amazing, and just seeing his heart behind discipleship has been really cool, and just him sharing that with me has been awesome, and just so that I can share his passion as well. And then also working with PJ too is a blast. We have a lot of good memories together, and he is a funny guy. And so I love working for the campusmen staff. Like, they are amazing people. And like everybody said, they really do truly care about you, and they honestly love you like we're their kids. And so that's super special to have.
Yeah, when I first met PJ, who's my supervisor, I was like, I'm terrified of you, and I will not say one word to you, but I will, whatever you tell me to do, I'll do it. And now mine and PJ's one-on-one is 10 minutes of business, and the rest of the time we're just talking about life. He's mentoring me, figuring out what to do post-college, but really anyone that you work with at Jessup, those in campusmen, those in RAs. I mean, I've had conversations with Megan. I've seen PC. I've seen Farmer when he was an RD over in Sunset. Like, they genuinely care about you and they want the best for you. And so they're some amazing people to work with. Going in with that, and this is going to be directed kind of those of you that are involved in this, but how, with being involved in choir, theater, athletics, those even during in-season and off-season, how do you manage your time while also still giving your best to leadership?
I mean, probably just be proactive. That's really, keep ahead of the ball, right? Keep your head ahead of the ball. Like I said, Google Calendar's your friend. But also with that, know your limits, right? You don't want to burn out. So make sure you take on what you can handle and know what you can handle. But I would 100% recommend it is manageable. You just have to be proactive and schedule it out.
A big thing for me being a student athlete in leadership would be the people I surround myself with. That's very, very important. You want people that want to see you succeed, and they want to push you to be all you can be, to be the greatest athlete you can be while also being the greatest leader within whatever role you're playing. So like, I have people on my stunt team that hold me accountable there. I know what needs to be done, and they really push me to work really hard for that. And I also have my RA team and my bosses that keep me in line, and they really help me when they know like I'm busy. Like, they never complain, they just pick up the slack, and I try really hard to make sure that there's not too much slack a lot of the time.
That's awesome. Okay. What is some advice that you would give to those interested in applying for student leadership?
Do it. Do it. You won't regret it. It's a really great experience. You only have now while you're in college to do it, and I think just Jessup's the place to be in leadership.
It really doesn't hurt to just apply. Like, you could go through the whole interview process and be like, actually, this isn't for me. But if you don't do that first step of applying and figuring out, is this the type of job that I want?
Yeah, I mean, there's really no downside. I mean, worst case scenario, you have a resume template ready to go for your next job. But yeah, it's just an awesome experience, and the people that you get to interact with all the time are just like amazing people. So there's really no downside.
Yeah, I would say there's something so special about serving those around you. The Bible calls all of us to have a servant's heart, and being able just to grow in relationships with people on each of the teams, and people just coming into Jessup and just serving the community just is something so special. It will grow your relationship with God. It will give you new friends, and it will just get you connected at Jessup and like no other.
Yeah, I mean, I was going to say something similar. to the first two, if you're on the fence, just apply. Like there's nothing. If you have questions about it, you can always ask those. But if you don't apply and like get ahead of it, and then you like wait too long to ask those questions, like you can ask those questions later. You can apply, you can interview, and then at your interview you can ask whatever you are like wondering about. If it's a question about whether or not you're gonna have enough time, or whether it's gonna be, too difficult, you can always ask about, the required duties during, an interview, and then you can figure out if, it's gonna work with your schedule or not. And a lot of these jobs are very flexible. I mean, unless you're doing like a chapel coordinator, where there's a very specific time that you do have to be here. All the jobs are generally very flexible on like the meeting times and what you need to be and where you need to be. It's just very flexible. So I think that it's not going to be too big of a problem. So just apply.
And I think to kind of piggyback off of that, if you're interested, you can come and talk to one of us about our positions. I tell people if you're interested, like in my position, you can shadow me before you even apply. Like I would love to hang out with you, and you can kind of see the behind the scenes of what it looks like to be a women's discipleship intern, or be on JFAM, or be a chapel coordinator, whatever. Like we've been in the position now for a year, and like we want to share what our jobs are about. Like we're all super passionate about it. I absolutely love my job, and I'm super sad that this is my last year of doing it because it's been phenomenal. But yeah, we want to share that with you guys. So I promise we're not intimidating. We just want to be open, and so come and talk to us if you're interested.
Yeah, that's awesome. I think, speaking of that, originally I was going to apply for Zoe's position, and Zoe was going to apply for my position. And I will forever remember the memory of PJ being like, come by my office. And I was like, when your supervisor's like, I think I'm in trouble. And so I was like, okay. And they were like, hey, we want you to do morning chapel coordinator. And I was like, that's crazy. I was like, what about Zoe? And they were like, you should talk to her. And I was like, okay. And so anyways, long story short, I've loved my job. I think it fits me well. And I love just getting to speak about Jesus with everyone. I think that's just where I see God calling me in life, just be able to share Jesus's amazing word. But student leadership has been the best thing I've done the past 3 years, and I'm super, 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 super sad to like leave because I think I devote a lot of my time to leadership and a lot of my time to all of them, and like get to support them in their events. What was that? Their events. So that's been super amazing. But we only have a couple more minutes. Do you guys have anything else that you want to share other than just say, go apply?
Did we go over like their details of their position?
Ooh, that's a good question. What does your job require you to do? I know, I didn't give them this question, so they're all like,
Okay, so I am the Campus Life Activities Board, or CLAB, director. So my job is to oversee the other student leaders on my team, who are the event coordinators and other stuff. Basically, my job is to make sure that the events that we all want to plan happen. I just kind of help them and guide them because I've been in this position. This is my 3rd year. So yeah, just kind of make sure that fun things on campus happen.
I'm also kind of in that same boat. Sometimes we collab with each other and other groups on campus, but I'm an RA, so we just make sure that like students on campus have people to go to, people watching over them, people mentoring them, taking care of them, kind of a thing, especially like when it comes to like the freshman dorms. Like they're new, they need a good familiar face that they feel comfortable with if they ever have a problem. And when it gets to places like the block where you're a little bit older, you're not really looking for something like that, but no matter how old you are, sometimes you just need a friend, sometimes you just need someone to talk to. So that's kind of what we're here for, and we work closely with our RDs, just making sure everybody on campus is happy.
Well, for global outreach, like I said, we do training for all the teams that we send. This year we're going to 9 different countries, or 8 now? It's 8 or 9. But we're training every Wednesday, and I also help with the recruitment side before we have teams, and also help with doing lots and lots of paperwork for all the different fundraising things, and just planning ahead so that it can be a smooth transition to summer when we go on the trips.
I think what, excuse me, I think what makes student government just a little bit different is we're elected by you guys. So you guys vote for who you want to represent you. And we serve kind of as a median between the students and the faculty. If you guys have any problems, any changes you want to make, you guys can come to us, and our job is to help facilitate those changes. On top of that, we stepped into the position of leading clubs more, whether it's funding, flyer, approval, and that. And then also just to foster student engagement. Right now, we're releasing a thing called Loud Crowd. You may have heard of it. And we're wanting a student section at every sports game, just to foster engagement there and just support our fellow warriors. Yeah.
Yeah, so for the JFAM intern, so the biggest requirement is, of course, leading Monday morning 9:30 group, and then outside of that, we have a couple meetings, and those are the required times. There's a couple events throughout the year, like Warrior Welcome is a big event that we are a part of hosting, and then the additional responsibilities are all kind of done on your own time. It's a discipline sort of thing. And once you cover all those, I mean, that's pretty much it for that job. The social media job that one's a lot more flexible because we have a required meeting time that we meet and discuss. But then you got to come up with kind of a way with your team to be able to work outside of that required time. And all your other duties are done through discipline, kind of just on your own time. And you work out, when you're going to handle things, which is why Google Calendar is such a nice tool to have access to. And then, so I specifically, I'm on the team that does the Jessup Life Instagram. And so we all figure out basically, who's doing what. That way we don't have any double posts or nothing gets skipped over. And yeah, you just come up with that, and that's all the responsibilities. So that's pretty easy.
As Women's Discipleship Intern, I don't know if a lot of you know, but this was a brand new position that we introduced this year. And so Jerome kind of gave me the flexibility to kind of use my creativity to kind of come up with what that was going to look like. And so we both decided that going on rounds every week would be something that I would do. So I go on rounds. Right now my focus is the village. So I go to Phillips and Rispoli, and I drop off snacks, and I just come and kind of hang out with you guys for a little bit. And so that's part of my job. And then also I plan all-girl events, which I'm sure a lot of you guys know about, and I'm going to kind of plug my upcoming event, which is our line dancing night coming up, not next Tuesday, but the following Tuesday at 8 o'clock. So I get to plan all of these all-girls events, which is super fun, and just put out flyers for those, and so that's also another part of my job. And then planning Bible studies as well, which I love doing. And then probably my favorite part is the one-on-one. I get to take people out to coffee, and it's my favorite thing ever. I just love to sit down with girls and talk to them about where they're at in life, where they're at with their walk with God. And it's just beautiful to be able to have those conversations and to actually have a job that allows me to do that. And so, yeah, I love it.
Yeah, that's amazing. And then I'm the morning chapel coordinator, so I help PJ kind of run chapel and kind of connect with speakers, those that are coming. I help PJ book speakers. I send out our speaker agreement form. I make sure our speakers are getting paid. I do a lot of the admin side of it, but I still get to build relationships with the speakers when they do come and get to spend time with them. But I also get to go out of my comfort zone and hang out with you guys and spend time with students. I plan our encounter chapels. That's kind of our main focus, which our next encounter is next Friday, just so you guys know. So yeah, I get to do a lot of the planning side of chapels and honestly just get to spend time with my team, but also more importantly with Jesus. So yeah. Okay, well, we are out of time, but I'm going to close us in prayer. And then I encourage you, those of you that don't really know if you want to apply, don't really know where you're at, stop by our lovely tables all the way in the back and talk to them. Some of us will be up there if you want to get to know a little bit more about our positions. We'll have a bunch of other people in other positions up there as well. But I'm going to close us in prayer. Dear God, thank you for this day. Thank you for this time just getting to be with you. God, I just ask that you remind students of their gifts that they've been given. God, I just ask those that are hesitant about applying for student leadership, can you just open that door for them, God? It is such an amazing experience to get to just be involved here on campus, and there's no better way to do it than being on student leadership, God. So I just ask that you open that door for those that are hesitant, God, but most importantly, just remind them that they are loved by you and that their identity is in you. So God, thank you for all the things that you have done, you will do, and continue to do. It's in your precious name I pray. Amen.